A police station was razed by youths in Edo State. There's still, of course, calls for a sit-at-home, and of course, the Anambra State governor asking residents to come out on Mondays and abandon the sit-at-home order that has been going on in the state for quite a number of years now. We're joined this morning by the national president of Nigerian Youth Organization, Comrade Duke Alamboye. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, my brother with the best voice. It was actually a very good voice.
Great to have you join us here.
I promise you're following me to my choir.
I will. Absolutely will. So let's get your general view. The vice president, while he was here yesterday, was seemingly telling people to stop being so or taking advantage of the current economic challenges in Nigeria to paint the country bad and weaponizing the economic situation. But one of the things that he mentioned that a lot of people heard was comparing the crime rate, the murder rate in Chicago, United States, to Nigeria. Basically saying that it's not so bad in Nigeria compared to it over there. What is your analysis on how well we've fared with security in the last 16 months?
Okay, let me first of all congratulate the organizers of this, the economic summit, and I'm very proud of basically the Ministry of Budget. These are programs that Nigerians want to see. When we yearn for good governance, these are things we mean to be happening. So we'll know the mindset of government and know the direction of government through programs like this. So I also want to thank the Vice President for deeming it fit to attending, not just sending the representation. He came himself and had made, fatherly statements and leadership statements. And the main issue is putting these statements into practice. Yes. It's not just by saying, I don't want to agree to that comparison he made. There are two different countries and the two different stages in terms of development. We are struggling at a nation that is struggling to develop to be like the country is comparing Nigeria to. But be it as it may, I want to also give credence to the present administration, linking it strictly to the security agencies for the swift and dedicated job they've been doing. Don't forget, the discussion is apt. I did the National Security Summit this year, February, where all service chiefs, in partnership with the Chief of Defense Staff, that is General Musa, Christopher Musa. So I know the in-depthness of what they feel about insecurity in the north, in the south, and wherever you can think about in the country, and their commitment and dedication. However, the political undertone has always still been the problem. The ability to allow people do their job when it comes to insecurity. Insecurity is a cankerworm to the economy, which is the basis of our discussion. So we're relating insecurity to economic growth and development. So it's one basic problem. And of course, recognizing that in Nigeria is very key. You can see we have peculiarities of insecurities in several areas or region. Yeah. The northern region is of banditry and kidnapping. If you come to the southern part of Nigeria, you're talking about stay at home, bullies and all of that. If you go far into the south region, oil theft and vandalization of government property and all of that. So it is a problem. But I think the present government have really shown concern and proactive touches on the issues that borders insecurity. Why I'm saying that is because once incidents happen, we see the response. Prior to other government, I won't want to mention them, that would want to even after a week or two respond to all of that. So
are you talking in terms of their words, their body language, or are you talking of in terms of them taking decisive steps in
all what you said is inclusive, reacting to it, even acknowledging it takes time. So but this government now, but once something happens, the government, as the populace is picking it up, the government are also picking it up, and then you see them, discharging responsibilities on who to handle what situation. That's what I mean. But we will not also take it away that all has not been done. All has not been done. Recently, in the southeast, the lock-up, sit-at-home order is causing lots of. Yes, I agree with Nnamdi Kanu. The last time he came to court, he has equivocally disassociate themselves from that activities, and people using his trial or his case to perpetrate some menial and major conflict in the zone. He disassociated himself from that. It has nothing to do with his trial. Yes, we agree that the Easterners are a little bit urging governments or the system to release him using political solutions or the real trial. They want him to be pardoned. They want him to be granted bail and all of that. We agree there are some people that are sincerely, including leaders, sincerely pursuing that cause. While it is a common phenomenon in our country, people want to begin to use that as a yardstick to perpetrating other vices that are uncalled for. You know, I'm one person that has always kicked against protests, not as if the earnings or the objectives of protests is not genuine. But my fear has always been when genuine people come out to do that, there are other people that want to use it to gain political points, other people that want to use it to gain their personal points, destructions, looting, killings, and all of that. So this is where we are, and I think more needs still need to be done in terms of insecurity in our nation.
I'll come to us, particularly come to the states in a moment, but I want us to talk about where we are. You've talked about how, you know, the current administration is doing a lot of work in terms of being able to respond speedily. A tactic that we've seen gain notorious publicity in the past year or two, maybe not just the past year or two, but more recently has been kidnapping. So bad that people don't even want to travel anymore because you're thinking, if I can't afford money to fly, I would rather not go by road. You heard of the bus where all of them were kidnapped a few days ago, and only the driver was able to escape or was released. So how has kidnapping become a thriving business in the past year or two? And what really would you say what would you say your analysis is on how the administration is handling it, especially bearing in mind that there's a law against paying of ransom? But yet we can't deny the fact that families are still paying ransom to get their loved ones. If you ask people who are family members that have been kidnapped, they'll tell you the reality of what they experienced. That sometimes some of them will say that law enforcement agents will say to them, better go and pay for your kidnapping. And that's something that is illegal. It's against the law. But if you're looking at the reality and the practicality of what insecurity has caused in Nigeria, I mean, you know, that is a reality that we see. So what are your thoughts on that?
Thank you very much. Kidnapping, unfortunately, is a common one across board. I agree with you totally. And I also want to observe that it is domesticated now. What I mean by that is that people now begin to feel that it's an easy way to making money. Of course, you can just come out to a busy or less busy street, kidnap one or two persons. This time around, in those days, it used to be prominent and rich people, but now you can kidnap anybody. And then before you know, 2-3 days, you're making 1,500,000 and all of that. So the question we're going to ask ourselves, who are the aiders? Who are the aiders to kidnapping? People are aiding kidnapping. Now, let me take, for instance, the banks. They are going to be critical stakeholders in helping restricting or eradicating banditry and kidnapping to some extent. Monies that are ransom that are being paid goes through the bank system. Ransom that are to be paid comes from the banking system. So there are also laws that guide against excessive withdrawal. I was in the Cybercrime Summit just 2 weeks ago, where these things were discussed deliberately. The banks are not helping even cybercrime, crime in the society. They are not reporting illegal activities in their space. Maybe in not to contradict also data protection laws, but whatever way you want to see it, these are things that must be reported for us to checkmate kidnapping and what they call banditry in those areas. Now, secondly, survival. In as much as we are condemning it, the country economy is snowdiving. Petty businesses are not striving. People are not even given opportunity to even have. I'm not even going to talk about employment opportunity. I don't want to go there. Even personal growth, self-employment. People cannot go to farm. So you see, in a community where you have a community populated by youths predominantly, and they are all dormant, they will resort to being caged or encouraged by the few that are indulging in this. And of course, you're going to see the differences. Let me give you an instance. I traveled to River State, somewhere in River State, and I observed that, do you know that the criminals that are boarding in the community are the people providing security, providing food, providing, yes, daily needs for the community. So in that regard, are you going to allow, or is the king or the paramount ruler going to report to government? So confidence is the third issue. People have lost confidence in even reporting or addressing issues when they are see these things around them, because these people, if you look at the weapons they use, if you look at the way they organize themselves to kidnap and do all of this, you will know that it is not an easy job.
So why would
now
people have lost confidence? Because, you know, is it the confidence in the fact that
confidence in governments? Not when I say confidence in government here, we're not talking about federal government here. Recall, it is domesticated now. You see people from their community also kidnap community members. You see people from a nearby community come out to an express to do kidnapping and go back within their community area, a secluded place to keep their victims and demand for ransom. It is no more you kidnap people from there, take them to, it is just domesticated now.
Yeah.
So the local governments in our country, economy is down. There are no local businesses. There are no encouragements. So people are resorting to survival, and it has become the easiest means of making quick money.
It's pretty easy.
Unfortunately,
it's pretty easy. As an economy depreciates, it's expected that crime levels would rise. So people are more desperate. The reason you even find societies, it's even in the southeast, where people know that this is kidnappers' camp. People know where they are.
Yes, I agree.
In the northeast and in many parts of northern Nigeria, Middle Belt, people know where these people are. It paints a picture of where we are as a country. And for, like you mentioned, it's domesticated.
Yeah.
It really just paints a picture of where we are mentally, even as a country, that we even know where these people are, but even the police will tell you that they know, but I mean, it's not a major problem. It shows you where we are as a country. But I want to ask, would anybody be able to give the current administration a pass mark with regards to tackling insecurity simply by their body language? Because there's certain things that I've always stated. People have called for state police as a way to reduce insecurity challenges Nigeria faces. People have called for better handling of our borders to reduce proliferation of arms into Nigeria. People have also called for better investment into investigating financial dealings. You see bandits on TikTok, on social media, they don't even hide. They're showing their faces. They're doing giveaways on social media. It's true. And so would you give them a pass mark if you've not necessarily seen policy changes? Because if you need to change certain policies, you need to say, okay, we're going to be stricter on our borders. We're going to be stricter with financial dealings. There's certain things that you will see and say, okay, this will know what they're doing.
Yes, I think the cause for fighting for good governance had also made us add lots of engagement. Let me take you back to when we had engagement with the National Assembly, that's the House of Representatives, the leadership of the House of Representatives, I think early this year, so some months ago too. This is one of the issues that we also tracked, policies. But we are in a country where the policies are also there. Maybe archaic or functional, but the ability to execute those policies are the issues. So I want to believe that the policies are not even the problem. The problem they're executing, the will to execute those policies and drive victims to the proper records as constituted by our constitution. That is where the problem is. What I'm trying to give, what I will give the government a pass mark is looking from where we are coming from, 8 years back to where we are coming from now. They've done their best to make sure it is no more going to the center cities. We've been in this town where a bomb exploded in Abuja, close to very important places and all of that. We've seen how it's eroded the nation, banditry here, kidnapping here, and all of that. So it has been in a quiet manner. So people, the perpetrators also find time to do it. They are cautious of the mechanisms on the ground now. So that is the kudos I'm giving them. But do it as it may, a lot need to be done. Orientation. I think orientation is the key. I've sounded this thing so many times. We are not orienting them. When a problem happened in Anambra, everybody's attention is in Anambra. Social media, main media, youths, women, men, government security agencies, everybody's attention is in Anambra. And once that is solved, nobody takes care of what are the causes, what are the solutions given, what are the ways forward to sustain that not happening again in even any part of the country. This is where the problem lies. So the national resident agencies, the military need to do lots of orientations, taking this call, telling people that, look, if you do this, kidnapping is bad, and then adopting the non-kinetic measures.
Yeah,
you must not just necessarily speak to the people bringing them out. It's like amnesty. You must bring them out and bringing them to, even if it's a less surviving venture, people should begin to embrace all of that. One tool I used to emphasize on, please, where is the presidential cup in this country? Where are the governorship cup? These are games that, the national games, these are things that kept Nigerian youths busy in a fiscal year, and the economy within that period will be well pronounced. People will be busy selling things. People will travel from Enugu to the northern state to go and play football.
Unfortunately, they travel now. They have to budget money.
We will have to start those things. When we start those things, it will also bring those boys out.
When we start those things,
yes.
Some would argue that we start those things and the roads are not yet safe. We are putting the horse before the carts before the horse. I can
bet you that we faced a kidnap situation. I was in the vehicle. We were 8 guys in the vehicle, a Sienna vehicle, and someone just came out from the distance with a gun. Yes, it was with a gun, but we interacted with him because we were more. It's our determination. I don't think if the country is busy today now doing presidential corps, and thousands of youths are traveling from one place to the other as busy. Look, they don't come to busy roads.
Nobody wants, to try your experiment. Nobody wants to kidnap. The fabric of a nation.
I'm saying is that it may not, it has to see. All security agencies, of course, will be traveling with football players and their supporters and all of that. Well, those areas that are prone to kidnapping, so in a fiscal year, when that games in 6 months, Nigerians youth are busy.
Comrade Duke, this your theory is subject to testing, but I don't know who is going to be willing to test. Maybe we should ask our audience. If you're willing to explore, or test Comrade Duke Alamboye.
What I'm emphasizing here is non-kinetic measures must be put in place to also as a check.
We have to have you again, and maybe this time around we'll have a conversation from both sides of the divide. For those who agree with yours and those who disagree, we'll see what the approach is. But thank you so much for joining us, Comrade Duke Alamboye.